Totes Recall.
Oh, welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we haven't seen in a long time and probably don't remember for that reasons or other reasons. And then we go watch the movie while eating pizzas and salads and then come back a second time in front of the mics and talk about the movie again, now with information based on viewing of that movie.
Well
My
said.
name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie, as is tradition, this romantic month of love, is the Disney animated classic Snow White and
The most classic of
the
classics.
Seven Dwarfs.
Yes. It's
Is that
true.
the
It's
full
their first
title?
one.
The most
I believe
classic of classics? Yeah,
Classic
that's
Yes.
it.
classics. And the Seven Dwarfs. I think there's a the.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
There's
there's
a
a the.
as well.
I'm pretty sure there's a the.
Dan, you should know this is on a very special list that both of us have of movies that we
Ooh,
both
wow,
watched.
wow, wow,
Yes, we did
wow,
both watch that
wow.
movie.
Interesting how you didn't even think to mention that, Dan. It's almost like you're a fraud.
I got to it first.
Yes, I've watched all the FI 100 movies,
Uh-huh.
as is Beth.
Great.
We are cinephiles.
for newer listeners, Beth legitimately watched the full AFI, which includes more than 100 and less than 150.
She
A
watched
number I
two lists.
do
she
not
I have
remember.
also
she
watched
mail
those
merged
123
two lists.
movies.
Yep, it's true. 123.
Yes, we
And
both watched all
Dan
123
is
movies.
Wait.
Johnny Come Lately. What? No, you did not.
Are
Are you serious?
Wait, are you doing it again?
We like to party.
Double.
We like to party. Yeah, I watched Dr. Zhivago last night. Finished it off.
Are you serious?
Stop. Last night.
I hate you so much, Dan.
You double Dan'd on this stupid bit?
Oh,
Oh, that's amazing.
you are so happy, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Just
Oh.
needed to be a full cinephile again.
That is incredible.
Wow.
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 So
Well,
there it is.
new
You-
listeners.
Masterstroke. That is a masterstroke. I have to give you credit for that. I thought
Can't
you'd
wait
be
for a new list to come out and see who finishes that one first.
The race will be on.
Yes, the race will be on.
But yes, this movie is on the original and the revised list. In fact, it moved up when they revised the list. And I think it came out in 1939.
Wow.
Seems accurate to me.
I'm going to say 36.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow, that's so interesting. Because the movie I think of when I think of 1939 is actually The Women, which now
Is
I'm
that a
wondering.
cartoon?
No, it's not. And I
Oh.
guess I was thinking about what a big deal it was that there was a
You know more
portion-
than one movie comes out in a year, right?
Not in
Even
the
in the
olden
30s?
days.
Not in 1939.
Wow.
I think it was like 1.5 movies tops.
Yeah, but if Walty Diz is churning out cartoons for a while, like
this
there's
is the
time to
start of
make
the
other
churn.
movies.
So this means
It is
that
the
like
start of
all
the
the
churn.
Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse on the
Steamboat Willie.
steamship stuff,
Yeah.
that was in the early 30s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
And so
Yeah,
this was
Steamboat Willie
later,
is the first
like when they did a full
one.
animated movie for the first time.
Yeah, I think this is the first
Yeah, Steamboat
feature
Willie.
length movie.
It is.
Got
It
it.
is.
First feature-length animated film. That's why it's on the list.
Yeah.
Big
At
deal.
least in America, like I could see this being something that like somebody already did somewhere else, and everybody
good
like,
point.
blah, blah, who cares?
Yeah.
But I have
well,
no
it
idea.
is the American Film Institute's list.
Yeah.
I
fair.
guess.
Yeah, I watched this movie all the time when I was a kid. I had it on VHS.
Ooh, you got it before they stuck it in the vault.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
or I don't, it had that little diamond on the side probably,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
and I loved it.
Great.
I was very into princesses. I was Snow White for Halloween one year.
Cute.
Oh.
It was very cute. I wore lipstick and I was like probably like 4 years old. And I felt like a very pretty lady.
Nice.
Oh.
I'm sure you're adorable.
Did you have a favorite dwarf?
Great question.
I probably liked Dopey the most because I think he has the most like comedy related with him.
Let's name all the dwarves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We've
Dopey.
already got Dopey.
Sleepy.
Grumpy.
Oh,
Grumpy, sleepy.
Doc is one.
Yeah.
Happy?
That's not an
He's like the leader.
Yeah.
He's like the head gremlin.
He's like Papa
Yeah.
Smurf.
Is there
Or
like a
that.
s-
Is there
a
is
stupid-
Happy one?
Happy
Happy.
is
I don't
one.
know.
Happy, grumpy,
Sneezy?
sleepy, sneezy,
Sneezy.
Sneezy?
How many are we at?
dopey, doc,
1, 2, 3, 4.
and bashful.
Bashful.
Bashful's the hardest one to remember because he doesn't have an E at the end of his name.
Right.
And it's not the leader.
Yeah. Do you think Doc is the leader because he has a doctorate in something?
In dwarfology.
Oh.
Like in
Or mining.
dwarfology or gemology
Yeah.
or
Oh yeah, probably because they
Earth
like
engineering?
they're digging for
Gems.
gold, gems,
Gems. They come
jewels.
out with gems.
Don't they
Okay.
sing a song about how they're digging all the
Hi-ho,
time?
hi-ho. It's up
You gotta
where we
whistle
go.
while you work.
Yeah, and then there's like dig, 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 dig,
Get them
dig,
gems.
dig,
Gotta
dig.
get them gems.
Is this
Getting
a
those
musical?
gems. Well, my name is Doc, and I'm here to sing.
Oh no.
I'm one of the
digging
seven
gems in
dwarfs,
an
and I'm
underground
digging
layer.
gems. What, Molly?
I don't remember.
Molly asked if it was a musical, and
Yeah,
Sort of, right?
there's songs.
Because doesn't
is there
Snow
more
White
than
sing?
hi-ho, hi-ho?
Doesn't Snow White sing like "I'm a pretty lady out in the woods"?
Oh, I feel like she sings at some point and animals rest on her fingertips.
Yeah, right. Isn't she like la 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 la, and the birds really like it or something?
Isn't that like all the princesses, though?
Yeah, but she's the OG. She's the original.
Because I'm thinking of the Wishing Well one, where it's like, I'm wishing for the one I love to find me.
That is from this movie, right?
Is that this one? I
Oh.
thought that was
That's
who's the one who's in the woods but was a princess? Is that
They're
this
all
one?
in the woods.
What?
Sleeping Beauty?
Yes.
Cinderella?
Sleeping Beauty
What is
and
happening?
Snow White are both in the woods. Cinderella is in town.
Not in the woods.
Oh,
Cinderella's
she's not,
a townie.
She's dirty at the start, and then
She's a town princess. They're
What? She's
forest
dirty?
princesses. Yeah, she's a dirty peasant.
Who
Yeah.
is?
Cinderella.
Snow White or no? Cinderella.
No, she's not.
they make her
She's
work all the time.
abused by her aunt.
She
Yeah,
is.
but she's not a peasant. She like still lives in that
She's
building.
treated like one.
she's
she lives
treated
in-
poorly.
Yes.
Yeah, she's treated like a poor
Like a
peasant.
peasant.
She like
should-
lives in
and
the
she
cellar. or
rises
whatever.
up.
Yeah, destroys her one percenter sisters or cousins or whatever.
Doesn't work 'cause she joins the bourgeoisie. So
Yeah, but she destroys them first for revenge.
sure.
Sure.
She
I mean,
I mean, they
becomes
kind
like
of
the
destroy
Lenin of-
themselves. Yeah, she's Lenin.
I just want to say that you weave this incredibly elaborate tale,
Yeah.
but forgot that it's the stepsisters. It's very simple.
She's
Stepsisters.
she's not cousins with them.
She's not
Oh,
cousins.
I'm sorry that I forgot what dumb, arbitrary relationship the other women in the movie have with her.
How am I supposed to buy into the larger scheme when you don't get the details right?
How do we know
That's
they're stepsisters?
Cinderella,
How do we
right?
know?
the
That's
ugly
not this.
stepsisters.
That's like how they're described. They barely have names.
Yeah, but maybe in like the original one, they're like her evil cousins through incest or something. Because fairy tales are always way worse until they're Disneyfied.
That's a good point.
So the movie
I
that we're
did-
watching tonight is
Yeah.
Snow White.
Snow White.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Snow White is a princess.
Is she?
Yes.
She's not
Yeah.
just a lady.
No,
She
she's
was
a princess.
She's endangered.
Yeah, her oh my gosh. This is the one with the mirror, right?
Yeah, mirror, mirror on
Yeah.
the wall. Who's the fairest of them all?
Yes.
Yes. So the
Yeah.
evil witch asks who the fairest of them all is, and the mirror tells her it's Snow White, and she's like, I'm gonna kill that bee.
Isn't that her stepmom though?
No.
No,
I don't think they're
It's just a
related.
witch.
Yep.
She's
Just
just,
a
a
witch.
witch. And so she turns into like an old lady
Who does?
with magic.
She's an
The
evil
witch?
queen, isn't
Oh.
she?
Oh yeah, she's
so maybe
Yes,
she
you're
is
right.
related then.
Yeah.
Maybe
Queens
she's
are
like an
moms of
aunt.
princesses.
Queens are moms of princesses. This is the known fact.
I think it's some sort of mom,
Some sort of mom.
step
She
or
has a-
otherwise.
she's a mom of a raven. A bird?
What?
Bird mom?
She's
a
got
bird
ravens.
But
She's
her,
got a raven.
That's so Raven.
the
Yeah,
point
that's
is that Snow White's parents sent her away to keep her safe. And she's raised in the woods by a woodsman and is living a very happy life for a long time.
Yes.
What? Keep her safe from who?
Then where do the
The-
dwarfs
wait.
come in?
The queen.
So they are related then.
The
We
queen
don't know
tries
about
to,
that yet.
The queen puts a hit out on her and hires the woodsman to kill her.
Yes.
He's like, I can't do it. Run into the woods. And she runs into the woods, and there's this crazy scene where the trees are like, wah,
Oh, yeah.
and all the things look scary. And then all the woodland creatures come out and surround her. And are
That's when she's like, la, 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 and the birds are into it.
I don't know if she's singing at that point. I think she's just crying. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think she's sent away. I think, she's isn't she led out into the forest?
By who?
The huntsman or the woodsman. Maybe it's the same.
So I understand that Queen Witch hired the woodsman to go kill Snow White because she's too hot. And then he was like, I can't do it. You're too hot. Run into the woods without any supplies. That's how I'll have the moral high ground here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's
absolutely
sort
that
of
is what happens.
his trolley problem. Of he's got to, do I kill her or let her loose in the woods to be eaten by wolves?
I see.
Are there any evil wolves in this? I don't think so.
It's
I think
gotta
there's
be, right?
implied. I bet there's
Implied
vilification of wolves.
wolves.
I bet there's implied wolves. I bet at one point
Like
she's
a
like,
howling.
yeah,
in
I
the
bet she's
distance.
walking through the woods and there's a howl and she's like, oh no, la 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 la.
The wolves will kill me.
And so she falls asleep, right? After all the mean trees come out, she gets frightened and falls asleep. And when she wakes up,
Ooh,
does she wake up in
Dwarf
the
Town?
dwarf house? Because I remember the thing I remember most vividly is her lying across all 7 beds.
Yeah. I think
Very cute.
I think she comes upon the house
Oh.
Yeah.
and then she cleans it
Goldilocks.
It's a Goldilocks situation.
Like a reverse
and then she lays down on the beds, and then when she wakes up they're all surrounding her.
And they're like, gosh, it's a goyle.
And Dobby's like, and it's like maybe a bummer.
I don't think he says anything,
Yeah,
Who?
he can't talk because he's.
but I don't even think he makes noises. I think
Dopey?
he
I
just
think-
kind of nods.
Doesn't
and
Dopey make noises with other things? Like he claps and
maybe.
stuff?
Like bang pans and stuff.
Literally, the only thing let me tell you the things I actually remember about this movie. Right, I remember they dig.
Yeah.
I remember there's an evil queen at some point, but I can't remember which one because I think I'm thinking of Maleficent, but I think she's in a different one.
Yeah, she's.
Yes, that's Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid being incredibly disturbed by this, where the dwarves have a happy song in the house with Snow White, like la la la, we're all friends, we're dwarves, we're in our house, and Dopey's fucking head comes off, and he
What?
bounces it around like a basketball.
Isn't that Labyrinth with the fire?
It's
fire monsters?
terrifying. It's terrifying. Put
I
that
do
down.
not remember
Dan's
that
bet.
at all.
Dan's bet. Dopey's head comes off, and it's terrifying. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I dreamed it.
Wow. Wow, man.
wild.
That's literally all I remember about this movie. And then I assume there's a boring ass prince at some point,
Gotta be boring.
like the
Prince.
1930s Prince Eric
He
equivalent.
must be the most boring of them, right?
Right?
I can't even think of one personality trait. I think Eric has more personality than he does.
Ooh,
for sure.
that is a
He
low
plays the
bar.
flute.
He's like a mannequin. And
Yeah.
he's like I'm gonna kiss this corpse in the woods. So maybe he's into dead bodies.
me save woman from forest.
What, a woman not moving? Gonna kiss her.
Ugh. 1930s, baby, or I guess 1720s or whatever. This
Yeah,
is
Maybe
supposed to
he's
take place in.
attempting to do
CPR?
mouth to mouth
Resus?
resus. Yeah.
I doubt it.
But
Ooh, or maybe the dwarves are like, oh, good, a human man. Perhaps you can help us.
Yeah.
We do
It's
not
not allowed
know
for
what to
our-
do when a human woman falls asleep.
I think they were watching from the woods like creeps when it happens.
Yeah.
Who?
Because they know that she
The
needs to
dwarves?
they know that she needs to be awoken by a
Oh,
kiss.
is this the one where she eats a poison apple?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I remember the apple from the ride. The Disney
okay.
ride has a hologram crone witch,
What's
with the
Disney
apple.
ride? Which Disney ride?
Disneyland has a ride called Snow White.
Okay.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
theme park with Disney properties. and
This is in California? No big
Yeah,
deal?
yeah, just where
I
grew
thought
up
that was in
California.
Orlando.
That's Disney World.
It's Disney World.
Oh, okay.
God, Beth.
What's the one in Paris?
Disney Paris.
Le Disney.
Euro
Le Disney.
Disney.
It's Euro Disney, yeah.
Disney.
But there's like the witch version of the queen is iconic. That's iconic witch queen.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And she it's either a hologram or just like a piece of wood that comes out on a hinge. But it comes at your cart, and she's got the apple, and it's like, oh no, I'm gonna eat the poison apple because it
And
looks
then
so
it's
good.
the sound is warbled over the years, so it's just like
Take a bite.
I remember being very scared at the part where she makes the poison apple because it this
Ooh, there's
green
like a-
liquid falls over the apple and it looks like a skull.
cool.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's good.
It's creepy.
That is creepy. I bet I'm going to be really. I bet I'm really going to enjoy the queen more than any other character in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually on these, when we watch the animations, the villains are the best part.
Yeah, man. Well, it was probably the most interesting thing to draw too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she does cool stuff and she's wearing like crazy cloaks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they defeat her?
I believe she gets pushed off of a cliff at the.
Whoa.
I can picture her falling off of a cliff.
Yeah.
Who pushes her? The woodsman?
I think it's like
Like
a
horse?
team
Dopey?
effort by all of the dwarves.
Dopey probably takes his head off and throws it at her. She's just like, oh my God, and then falls off because she's
She
so
just
shocked.
gets scared because she's like, "What the hell?"
What the fuck?
Does Dopey do any Globetrotters style
I think he
arm,
does.
shoulder
I think he
roll?
does little tricks with his head, and I feel like, or maybe he sticks it in his because he's got big sleeves, so he does like a
Yeah.
sleight of hand thing where he
Okay.
sticks his head in one sleeve and then it comes out the other sleeve or something.
Beth's bet.
Yeah.
His head never actually detaches from his body.
Okay.
He's just swimming in that big shirt that he wears.
Maybe it gums. Maybe he goes into his shirt and it comes out the sleeve, and my little dumbass child brain is like, "Oh my God!"
That's
You didn't
that's
have
Beth's
object
bet.
permanence yet when you watch this movie. His head is gone.
I could accept that. Yeah.
We'll see. I'm excited to see if his head actually does come off.
Ooh, speaking of characters that actually have any sort of personality or identity, do we think this will pass the Bechdel Wallace?
I do think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that the witch or the queen and Snow White talk to each other about something that's not a man.
Is
And
the
is
queen's
the-
name the Queen?
I think she has a name, I'm pretty sure, but I can't think of what it is.
Okay.
Is the mirror a woman?
Oh, I don't think so.
But I think it is
No.
a dude, isn't it?
I think it's a dude, like a weird, it looks like Professor Xavier communicating through his psychic
He's got to
powers.
evaluate all the.
Oh yeah, it has to be a man. Yeah, because he's got to tell
Gotta
her
look
who's
at
hot.
every lady and
Yeah.
decide who's the hottest. That's his job.
That's his job. He was made in the fires of Hephaestus' forge
Yeah.
to Zeus was just like, well, I'm sick of just scoping out ladies. Just make me something to tell me who's the hot one. And then at some point, Athena or whatever was just like, this is bullshit, and cast it down to the earth.
He landed in Germany.
And then the queen got it because the queen is probably the reason she's so scary is because she's a well-read woman.
Ooh.
I mean, probably they were, walking around extracting taxes from the peasantry, and someone had this mirror handed down from generations, and they
And it
couldn't
hadn't
pay
been
up.
polished in
Yeah.
decades. Yeah.
They locked up all the peasants and stole everything they had.
Yep.
And then later, because she's a woman of leisure, has no, doesn't have to work at all. Just
Yeah.
looking around at the mirror and is like, I'm hot. And the mirror's like, yeah, you are. But guess what?
Ooh,
Snow White be banging.
that's actually a good question. Do we think that her insecurity is entirely of her own mind, or does the mirror set her off? Is she just am I hot? And the mirror's like, yeah. However, or is she just immediately just I need to figure this out?
My memory is that she goes up to the mirror and she's like, how do I look? And he says, you look amazing. And she's like, wait a minute. I used to be fairest of them all. What's up? And then the mirror is
shit.
kind of forced into explaining.
The mirror's like, ooh, goo.
That's what I remember, but who knows?
Well, doesn't she have a little rhyme? Mirror, mirror on the wall,
Uh-huh.
who's the fairest of them all?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's put
Yeah.
plainly. That's of them all.
But
Can't
maybe
get
the
rhyme
mirror like is only forced to do it when she says the rhyme. Like maybe at first
sure.
they have a casual conversation. She's just like, "Oh, I don't know."
No, you look great.
I also think that this is one of those quotes that people remember being mirror, mirror on the wall, but it's not actually that.
Oh no!
I can't remember what it. I think she just says mirror, mirror. Who's the fairest of them all? I don't know. I don't
Or
know if
she's
it
just
actually
like,
rhymes. We'll see.
Mirror, tell me who's the fairest.
Mirror.
Yeah.
Who's
Well,
good looking?
Who's
Good.
hot or not? Everyone
Me.
in this village.
So then
love
is
it.
so Snow White may just be a regular person then? She's maybe not a princess?
I think she's a princess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
I
be
think
very
she's-
curious.
Well, she's definitely a
about
princess
the-
after she marries the prince.
Ugh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. But
I'll
she's
be
got
very
that, like,
curious about like the
puff
government
sleeve.
structure of this land.
Yeah.
But I think
Because if
she's
the
wearing,
witch
like-
is a queen,
Yep.
Is there
Oh,
no
that's
king?
a good point. So, like, if the prince in that village, that would be her brother. If
whose
he-
brother?
Like the Snow White.
I mean, it's royalty.
There
so-
are many
he's
royal
probably-
families.
It's probably a traveling prince out to,
Okay.
So
see the
his
land,
royal
so
oats.
his royal
Yeah.
oats.
Yeah. And settle down with the first girl he finds
unconscious
in the woods.
maidens.
Yes, exactly.
In a glass coffin.
Well, son, you've
No.
reached the age of manhood, and now, as is
13 years
tradition, you
old.
must travel throughout the land and acquire an unconscious woman to bring back as your wife.
Conscious or unconscious, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you can murder another rival royal at some point,
Oh, yeah.
or hire a axe wielding buff man to do it, I don't remember. We'll
So
find
what
out.
happens after she gets kissed, though?
Doesn't she wake up? True love's kiss or whatever.
So
That
she wakes
bullshit?
up-
Isn't that Sleeping Beauty?
Aren't they all like that?
Are they both? They got to be kissed to wake up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh, come
Yeah.
on.
She wakes up though, and then she's like, "We got to get this queen." And
Ooh,
then
I
they
don't know.
fight because I think what happens is the
You
queen
think she wakes
asks the
up and
mirror again,
immediately is
she's
like,
well,
"Vengeance
now
is
that
mine."
Snow White. I think now that she's like, Snow White is dead, I'm gonna go ask the mirror again, and the mirror's like, no, she's not dead. And then
Sorry,
she's
bro.
like,
Maybe she shows
then
up at
she-
the wedding. That would be cool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know
She's
if
like
that's
bangs
what happens,
on the
but-
glass.
I can't picture what happens next.
I hope there's a wedding, and I hope every dwarf is in like a little tux,
Yeah.
Oh.
or the equivalent of a
Pieces gone
tux
wrong.
in 1500s. We keep pushing it back. 1500s Europe.
Do we?
Huh.
And speaking of years, so Dan made a bet of 1939. I don't know that any of us any of the rest
I
of
said
us actually.
36.
You
Thank
did?
very
Beth agreed
much.
with me. Dan said 36. Molly, you bet that The Women came out in 1939.
I mean, write that down. We gotta confirm
Oh, I
that
wrote
too.
it down. Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like we've made this bet before. Is that true?
The Women. I
Write
never
that
heard
down,
of
too.
This movie.
Okay, I don't know.
Tweet at us. Woman bet yes. Woman bet no.
Yeah.
Those are
In the year.
hashtags. I should have
Yeah.
made clear.
I love it.
At Totes Recall, Twitter.com. It's a
At Totes
safer.
Recall Pod, Totes
Shit.
Recall is somebody who's just sitting on it.
Ooh, we're coming
give it
for
up,
you.
Squatter.
Hey,
Squatter?
don't make me. I don't know. Forget it. Beth, leave this in.
Molly, what were you going to say about a year?
You reminded me that I already made a great bet, so I'm sticking with
So you're
it.
just not even going to take a bet on this movie?
I mean, honestly, I think it is 1939, but it irritates me for Dan to be correct on the same time he tells us about his AFI 123 list.
I see.
So I don't know. I
You're
don't
just gonna
really
stick to the women.
I don't really want to support him, and yet I think he's right.
Wow.
Well, I mean, no, I do as a friend.
But not as a colleague on this
Co-host.
podcast.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, I think that's fair. I think true Totes heads will know. Like by this point, the dynamic is that like off pod, we are true 5 Moon friends, but on pod, we will try to destroy each other to be right.
Tensions are high.
All right. Well, how should we rate this movie then, Molly, if you're not going to make a bet on the year?
I think the fairest AFI list of all.
Ooh, what does that
Wow.
mean? Is it a list that doesn't exist yet? Is that what we're saying? Probably, because
Yep.
those lists have a lot of blackface on them.
Yeah.
They sure do, especially that removed 23. It's a bummer of a subsection.
Is that part of the reason they revised the list?
I mean, they didn't take all the blackface off.
No,
but
they didn't.
Whoa.
That's what's bothersome. Is like
took
if you're
some.
going to revise it, maybe be like, ooh, let's cut all that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, AFI, we're watching
Fairest,
Hey, cool it, AFI.
Yeah.
fairest AFI list.
Yep.
So this is also an American Film Institute list, but it's
More
like the
fair.
best looking.
More
Oh, so that
fair.
kind of fair.
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of fair.
That's
Fair.
nice.
Like not, yeah. Like
Yeah,
the
because I was going to
opposite
say,
of
like,
cheating.
even if you cut out the blackface, you still have the problem. Just like, it's just
it's
all
still-
white people.
Yeah.
Every
White
movie is
men.
just about white people.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
great. So it's fair in the sense that it's like everyone is
Equitable.
being treated. Yes,
Yes.
great. I love it.
That's great.
Get on it, AFI.
Yeah.
You spent a year doing those stupid themed lists of just like, 100 smooches or whatever. Fuck that.
Yeah. Give us an equitable list.
Yeah. Or just give us a list just like, we've seen enough white people. Here's 100 other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, good luck getting 100 movies on there
You can do it.
that are American.
Ooh.
Well,
We'll see. Challenge thrown.
yep.
AFI. Anyway,
Yep. Challenge thrown.
anyway, it's my turn to rate a movie. My name is also Dan. It's my turn. I honestly don't think I've seen this since I was a little kid. Like, this was not one of the. I was definitely much more of a Disney, the Disney's time of the 90s that we have discussed at length on this show. Like, I was very into those movies. I've definitely seen a bunch of the older ones. I think I only saw this one maybe once or twice though. But I bet it's pretty charming. I bet it's pretty like cool. I bet there's some very beautiful artistic liberties that the animators took with like backgrounds and shit because they were trying to make a profit and Walt Disney was a slave driver. And I bet they actually, as we've learned in America, the key to making good art is to put your workers in terrible labor environments and overwork them until you get what you want.
Yep.
4 lists, fairest lists of all.
Great.
I'm Beth. I'm introducing myself, and
Thank
I
you.
am next. I don't think this is going to be a perfect 5 movie for me, but I do think that it's going to instill. Is that the word?
You are a robot.
It's going
and
to install the nostalgia response
Yep.
into my circuit board,
Yep.
and I will feel feelings. No, I think I'm gonna like it. I think it's gonna be, and I think that I'm gonna appreciate it for its beautiful hand-drawn illustrations or hand-painted, I guess. So 4 something AFI something.
Great.
Yes. Fairest AFI
boop.
list of all.
Thank you.
My name is Dan. I am 3rd in this order.
Who are you?
Dan.
Thank
My
you.
name is Dan Jaquette. And I think I'll like this movie. I'm going to say 4 as well. I think it'll be pretty good. It's a sub 90 movie, I believe, which is real
You
nice.
love that.
Real nice short Rob. And I think it'll have some charms and nostalgias.
Great. The old charms and nostalgias.
Yeah. And that's my time. Molly.
This is Molly. I go last. And
Not for any particular reason other than just the way we sat around the table when we first started recording this.
Hey, I enjoy the extra time to think of an answer.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think similar to Beth, I'm going to really enjoy the artistic qualities of this. And having worked at a place that did animation, I think
No big deal.
no big deal. I think it will be especially cool to see. It's also interesting hearing y'all talk. I know canonically we're all 35, but in terms of regular years, I am older than the rest of you. I'm a Gen Xer. And so I came up before princesses were fully commodified by the Disney company,
Yeah.
which is a trend that has really been growing over the years. The princesses, of course, now are a thing.
Right.
But when I was young, Snow White was just one of the movies. And so I'm sure I've seen it probably once, probably when I was a kid, and I was probably pretty scared during the woods taking over scene. But I really haven't seen it since then. So that's probably, we're talking almost 40 years since I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So
That math checks out.
yeah, that's right.
You're 35.
Yeah,
Well,
35.
years.
So,
Yep.
do the math at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an optimistic 4.5.
Oh.
Wow.
Just to be a little spicy since I really had no spice on that year. So, yeah, we're going 4.5.
I mean, you had no spice. It was spicy in that you chose not to actually predict a year
That's
to
pretty spicy.
spite Dan. That's pretty spicy. You're welcome.
That's one of the dwarves. Spitesy
Oh,
dwarf.
that'd be
Spicy.
amazing.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Hey. That's how it works.
That's his tagline?
That's his tagline.
Hey,
He's-
that's how it works.
He says something super mean to you, and he's like, hey, that's how it works.
I'm spicy. I work at a mine. Go
Spicy.
fuck yourself.
Hey, get out of my way, dopey. I'm going to take your dumb head off and throw it in the garbage.
That's how it works.
Yep.
And with that, we're going to press pause, go watch Snow White, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Beth Gibbs, from the podcast you're currently listening to. That's right. I'm one of the hosts. And I'm here to tell you about Patreon.com.
Yeah.
It's a really cool website where you can go and support artists. Guess what? We're artists that are on that website. And you can go
Confirmed.
on there and throw in a couple bucks a month, as little as $1 a month,
All
$1?
right.
as much as, I don't know, $1 billion a month if you'd like.
You know, when I was a kid, picture pages cost $1.
I don't even know what that is.
What is a picture page?
Like
Bill
coloring
Cosby had,
What?
well, this is
No,
before he
shut
was
it down.
creepy.
Oh, Molly.
Cut this out.
No, okay.
Who else had picture books?
Well, anyway, it was called picture pages, lots of fun with picture pages. Doesn't
Is it
sound
just
familiar
one
at all?
page?
No, it's picture pages, and you send them $1 and they send you picture pages, but I didn't understand about a return address.
What is a
So I
picture
kept
page?
mailing
book?
them $1 at a time with no return address, and I never got my picture pages. So I can't even answer your
no.
question about what a picture page is.
You
But I
don't
know
what
the
a
theme
pic-
song.
But you don't know what it is, but you kept trying to buy them?
Yes.
Your example for something that costs $1 is something you never bought as a child.
You cannot confirm or deny the quality of, and is apparently associated with a month. So
I'm just saying, as a 6-year-old, I was able to afford $1, and I was able to address an envelope by myself,
yeah.
except I didn't know about return addresses.
So you dumb adults can go onto
Yeah, you dumb adults can figure out how to click on a button.
Patreon.com/Totes Recall. Throw in $1. You get bonus content every month. You get a Totes pre-call. You'll know what the movie is we're going to watch ahead of time.
Yes.
And for higher levels, you can get even more awesome things.
Stuff.
So,
Like a
things and
shout
stuff.
out
Like a
is
shout
one
out.
thing you can get.
In fact,
Yeah, it is.
we have a couple shout outs right now. We'd like to shout out
Wow.
our patrons, Jen Van Com,
Yay!
Jen Van Com. Jen
And-
Van Com.
Sonia Jensen.
Sonia!
Sonia Jensen.
Thank you so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate it. And speaking of the show, let's
Oh.
get back to it.
Smooth.
.com.
Gross.
And we're back. We just watched 84 minutes of animation in the form of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a movie we saw.
Accurate. Very accurate.
Very factual.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Well,
Very much
speaking
so.
of factual overviews, we always start the second half with the best part of our podcast, beloved award-winning
Beloved
lauded
award-winning.
segment, 60-second summary.
Internationally recognized.
Yep.
60-second.
I would say universally recognized.
Universally recognized.
Yeah.
60-second summary.
I have the clock ready to go. Who would like to summarize?
As always, I will volunteer.
Last time we all did it. I don't know how we
fun.
felt about that.
I don't
Sure,
remember.
let's try it. I'll start and
All right.
y'all jump in.
Great.
Okay.
Are you also doing the clock, Molly?
I guess so, unless Dan has it.
I mean, I can.
Okay, I've
This
got
is
it.
a
I've got
disaster.
Listen, I've got it open. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'm going. We open on a storybook that gives us the backstory. There's a wicked stepmother who's a queen, and the princess is more beautiful than she is, so she punishes her by making her be a there's a word for it, but anyway,
Scullery maid.
Gullery. Yes.
Scullery.
Scullery. Yeah, that sounds better. A scullery maid. And so she has to clean chamber pots and stuff, but she's so sweet and cheerful that she makes friends with beautiful birds, and a prince is in love with her, and he comes around, and they don't kiss, which is very important. You should not kiss because you need to save that up for later,
Right.
young ladies.
Anyway, it's probably like 30 seconds in, and she is going to get murdered by the huntsman because the queen is like, "You're too hot. Go kill my stepdaughter." And then the huntsman is like ready to stab, but he can't
10
do it.
seconds left.
So she runs in.
Then they make a pie, and
She fights dwarves.
the
and
witch comes in, gives her a poison ivy.
They dance
Apple,
and
she
clean
eats it, she
themselves.
dies.
Everyone
And then
dies
somebody
except
comes
the people
in,
who don't
they
die.
make a pie.
Molly. You can't.
You monopolize. You really
I'm
monopolize.
furious. I'm furious. I didn't even get to go. I had to step all over Beth's lines to say anything.
Yeah. Okay, so what we've
30
learned.
seconds on not kissing.
What we've learned is democracy sucks, and we should just have one single voice declaring the summary and letting us know
Rotating
reality.
oligarchy of.
Yes, exactly.
I thought
Of a
you would
limited
just jump
pool.
in.
Well, I don't know. We want to know where you were going with all that scullery.
Well, and I didn't even get into like all of the.
It's too late.
Can we
It's
just
too
talk
late.
about the pace
It's
of this
too
movie?
late. It's too
That's
late.
not in the summary. You don't talk about pace in the summary.
Yeah, if anything, you
summary.
subtract
I'm
the
gonna lose
pace
all
out
the
of it.
awards for the segment.
Oh,
Two,
Take all
we
the
did.
awards
We
away.
already did. We already did. They took them
the
back.
universe is tuning out.
You know,
Well,
just we're all gonna
But we
die if
did we
he-
get in the part where the witch dies? We never find out what happens to the huntsman.
We
do
said
we?
people died. I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
I don't
it's
know. what
true.
happened
I
to
don't think the huntsman. I assume he was murdered by the queen.
Ugh,
Like
Yeah.
she
Terrible.
said that would happen, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
She's mean.
So she probably like
She is mean.
I bet what she did is she like brought that box of a pig's heart with her, and like shoved it in his face. Like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Like when you like if you have a dog and you're just sort of
Yeah.
like trying to make them like understand they did something bad.
What did you
Probably
do?
What is
Turned
this?
him into a pig or something. Used
I
the
bet
pig's
she
heart
did.
to.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
probably
like
bet she did.
swapped his heart with the pig's heart.
Whoa, which
You
works.
know what?
That'll work fine.
I like to think that she got so consumed with getting Snow White that she forgot all about the huntsman, and then she falls off the cliff, and the huntsman like just narrowly escapes.
Do you think the huntsman
yeah.
like is out hunting and finds her body at the bottom of the cliff? Just like, oh god damn, and it's like,
Nice. Well, that worked out.
yeah.
Do you think her body returns to that of the queen when
I
she
assume
dies?
so, right?
Probably.
I think it's interesting that they never show a pig family in the woods. Because those animals are sentient.
Do you think? Do you think the huntsman slaughtered all the pigs until he found a right-sized heart? They're like, this looks right. This is the one.
It's about the size of a young woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
I think I did that.
Yes, I do think that
that is.
happened.
I mean, that's a
That
real
is
thing.
the darker side of
Yeah.
this story.
Yeah.
One of them. Yeah.
I want to start with the storybook.
Please.
Because I watched this so many times as a child. And when I was watching it this time, I realized I don't know the backstory because I could not read when I would watch that movie.
I mean,
so how would I know?
Although True Totes had to recall that Beth just doesn't enjoy reading in movies anyways.
Did text everyone, ugh, because I had to read the beginning part.
No, I
And
didn't.
it was all in like scripty font. It was hard to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is her stepmother.
Yes.
That's the relationship.
Yes.
Dad,
So
not,
I was wrong.
not present, right?
My
don't
wife,
know anything
my
about
wife thinks that her dad is that skeleton that she cackles at when she's going into the boat.
Whoa.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I believe
Yikes.
it.
There's a bunch of there's a bunch of dead people down in that basement.
Mm-hmm.
It's real creepy.
Yeah, she's not nice.
The Queen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was amazed at the first few minutes of how little I remember it. Like, I didn't remember the prince showing up in the beginning at
No.
all.
Right. Yeah, he just pops up. He's like,
He
who's that
does
singing?
just pop up. And teens, just real quick to the teens out there. There's a woman singing at a well, and you're like,
A wishing well.
Yeah,
Be
sorry,
clear,
a
it's
wishing well, and you're like, ooh, she cute. Don't just sneak up behind her and start singing at her and then be like, wait, come back when she runs away. Because that is the correct response for her to run into her house.
Yeah.
Like he literally just pops up like, and I also wait, where are you going? Please, I just want to sing with you.
Yeah. Always announce your presence when approaching anyone.
Anyone.
But especially a young lady singing at a wishing well.
Yes.
It is I, a prince.
Or something.
I was relieved to know that they knew each other before he kissed
Ooh,
her
right?
dead body
Yeah.
in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
I mean, great point.
Yeah. But like,
and
he saw her one time, right?
Yeah, and also he didn't know that if he kissed her, they don't know that
Right?
the spell can be broken with
Right?
a kiss. He's just like, I'm gonna kiss her dead body, take the glass off so I can kiss her.
Unless
Then
they
it
like,
says he just heard about a maiden in the woods. So he's just like hanging with his bros. They're like, oh yeah, what's there's a
woman in a glass
woods, looking good, yeah.
and the prince is like, oh, I'm going to kiss that corpse and go into the woods and it's time to blah. Unless they cut a scene where the prince is goes back to the castle to find her and he's just like, hello? And is walking through this empty castle and finds the witch's spell book.
Or maybe
room.
the huntsman is there.
Oh, and the huntsman's just like, oh,
He's like, this is what went down.
oh, dude, it was crazy.
I was going to
Almost
just
killed
stab her
her.
right in the face and then I couldn't.
Wow. One thing that I also had forgotten was how, at one point, speaking of kissing, she runs up to the balcony
Yes.
from the wishing well, and the prince is still standing at ground level.
Yeah,
And
still
she
singing.
Still singing, and she sends a kiss via a dove. And I
Oh,
honestly
yeah.
thought it was cute.
And that dove
But
is
I'm not sure
down
that
for
the
it.
interpretation was shared.
That dove is ready.
Dove
Wanted.
TF, am I right?
That dove is
Something.
that is dove TF. You are right.
Tough tea.
You are correct. Whew. That dove is ready to rock with that prince. Honestly, more so than Snow White ever seemed to.
Yeah, she is
Well, the dove
real
is
cool
more
about
worldly.
I guess we're married now at the end. He creeps up on her, opens her coffin, kissed her.
Kisses her corpse, and
kisses
then
her
she's
corpse.
just like, goodbye. Goodbye.
One big stretch.
Well, she did make that wish that he would come and
I
Take
mean,
her
I
to the
guess she's
castle.
into
I
it.
guess.
Yeah.
So
Is-
she got her wish?
the castle in the sky.
Unclear.
Right.
Okay, it was. I think it was just supposed to be in the distance,
Okay.
but it did look sky-like. And I have to mention about pace. There was 20 minutes of hand washing,
Yeah.
extensive conversations about nothing and sleeping arrangements.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
the whole part where her dream comes true is just I don't know, 45 seconds.
Whatever. Do you think that was when they were doing the storyboards and they was just yeah, and then, and then he comes and then she wakes up and then they're like, oh, thank God you come. And then Walter's just like, bah, 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 bah. Wait a minute. Go back. And there's 2 panels of the dwarves washing their hands. They're just yeah. This is what we want to see.
We're gonna wash Dopey's butt.
I was thinking about that. It reminded me of the rides, some of those storybook rides at Disney, where it's the visuals of it are what make it entertaining.
Yeah.
And I feel like because it's the first full-length animation, they were like, the plot,
Who cares?
like,
Yeah.
but like, let's have like all these like visual things. And that's like, I was thinking about Dopey, and Dopey is very much like a Harpo character, like that, like a mime, you know, it's all physical comedy. And I'm wrapped up in my coat.
Talking about physical comedy.
Hey.
No one knows what that looks like, but it's very funny. I think like they just really focused on the visual stunts and did not focus so much on like
Yeah.
what the story
Right. I
was.
mean, to the point where they even
Building
like,
character.
well, the point where they even like inserted like cards that were like, and here's what happened after this.
Okay, so as that's happening behind the text, so this is after Snow White is dead, and
Yes.
they're telling the story of like now she's in the woods and she was so beautiful. The seasons change behind, so her dead corpse
A while.
has been in there
Yeah.
for at least like a couple seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's dwarf.
Through winter.
It's a dwarf coffin.
It is a dwarf.
So-
coffin.
But
she's
like
in
a
a
magic
sleep.
sleepy.
She's a
Yeah,
magic
that's true.
death.
She's got magic sleep.
Okay.
I mean, I
Just
will
was like-
say, I feel like the bigger plot hole, honestly, is that the queen/witch doesn't like flip through her options. You know, she's got that whole magic book, and she
Yeah.
settles.
I mean, she has several
immediately
magic books.
I want to talk
on
about her
sleep-
magic books.
Sleep death.
Please.
Just the titles of them are a real first draft.
It's
like
they are
Dark
disguises.
arts, black magic, sorcery, poisons.
Disguises. Don't forget
Put a
disguises.
little- Oh, disguises.
Disguises is my favorite
Yeah.
one for
Put a
sure.
little spice on those titles. Like, put a name on there. Someone make
Yeah,
it so it's
probably.
not just like
There was-
like
what's
kind of a pun or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
something.
No, they were too focused on getting that hand washing scene down.
Yeah.
What, is it too early for Wikipedia moments?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll save it for later. But yeah, there was a lot. And all I'm
Yeah.
going to say is there was even more that they cut out.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
More hygiene.
More dwarf stuff.
Oh.
So the thing is, you know, the movie real title, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs,
Yeah.
is pretty important, the second part of it. Because
Right.
Snow White actually doesn't contain that as much of the story or as much of the animation or the gags as the
Or
Seven
like as
Dwarfs
much
do.
of anything, right?
Yeah.
Like she doesn't really have much of a deal. Like
She's just kind of playing house, right? Like she's
Yeah.
very little girl like,
Yeah.
but old
Yeah.
enough to marry.
my when Snow White started talking to the animals about where she could sleep in the woods once she'd gotten over, I assume, like some psychotropic drug hallucination where she thought all the trees were trying to eat her. She was just like, "Oh, I certainly couldn't sleep in a hole like you, or up in the trees like you." My wife just goes like, "Snow White's kind of a dipshit."
Yeah. I mean,
How old is she supposed to be?
I don't know.
Like 12? Like
boy.
she is like a kid. She's very young.
I mean, is she trying to like treat the animals like they're kids, but we don't see the animals that way because we know they actually have a really hard life and have families and stuff?
Maybe that's what it is. She's infantilizing nature because of
Well, she is trying to be everyone's mother.
Right.
Like she becomes the dwarves' mother.
Mm-hmm.
She cleans and is like, not until you wash your. Like, can you imagine if a girl broke into your house?
I'm listening.
She shows up and she's like, I made you dinner, but you can't eat it unless you wash your hands. I'd be like, get out of
Get
my
out
house.
of my house. Oh,
Yeah.
You're terrifying.
And then, it's time. It's bedtime now. We're like 7
yeah. Who
minors.
determined that?
Like,
Well, they
no,
are
I don't-
minors.
Like when the clock struck whatever, like 11, or I assume Doc would be like, "Oh, it's time for Ted" or whatever. But
Got it.
instead she declared it was bedtime,
Yeah.
which
And
seemed
then,
odd.
I mean,
Okay, sleep in our bed.
it's good
Okay.
hospitality to offer the beds, but that's
Sure.
a lot. All 7 of them?
And she only used 3.
Speaking of, this was a real classic ET moment for me because in my childlike memory,
Okay.
she slept across all 7 beds, and I
Yeah.
can absolutely picture what that looks like, which
Yeah.
is probably from a storybook.
Yeah.
But in this edition, she just sleeps across 3 of the beds, which begs the question: can't they just take some beds downstairs or share
Or just
a
like
pillow?
cram into the 4 beds.
Definitely no one needs to sleep inside of a pot.
Right? I mean, Dopey and Bashful or Sleepy or whoever, like they're clearly comfortable just like shoving up onto each other like 2 dogs.
Yeah.
That was when Dopey's like twitching in his sleep and like knocking the other dwarf with his butt. That absolutely happens with my 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
think that was
delightful.
intentional, right? He was dog-like in that. He was having like a dog dream.
But like if they could just cram into
Yep.
sinks and benches, like they could cram into 4 beds.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just
They're not concerned about their backs.
I guess.
I mean, if you don't break your back mining all day.
Yeah. It's
Also, that vault gag I thought was pretty funny.
the what gag?
When they show the dwarves going to work, they harvest precious gems all day,
Yeah.
and then they store them in a vault.
Yes.
And Dopey goes and he remembers to lock the door
Yes.
to the vault, but then he walks away and then remembers to hang up the key next to the door.
Right.
I thought it was funny.
It is funny, but also
It's
like
pretty solid gag.
these dwarves are idiots. Right?
I mean, I guess like a raccoon probably couldn't get in there now. Like if the key
Oh, a
was in the
raccoon
lock,
could definitely
We
get
saw
it.
how industrious the raccoons of this woods are. They
sure.
were doing laundry.
These raccoons, yeah, we're doing laundry.
No, listen,
real cute.
raccoons will get into some stuff, all right? Do
Listen.
not
Human
underestimate.
hands.
Yes, I mean they could turn a thing, but they can't take a key off a hook
Are you
Oh,
shut
they
your
could
face.
definitely take a key off a hook.
and put it
They
in the
can
lock.
take a backpack off of a tree. They could swing that backpack back and forth, generating momentum, getting the backpack close enough to the second raccoon who just reaches out, has clawed a hole in the side, and pulls out Oreo cookies one by one.
This is very specific, Molly.
Sure,
It's
obviously
real.
they could do that.
This is
But
a personal
key off
story.
a hook
Did this
and then
happen
in
to
a
you?
lock?
It happened to someone who was a forest ranger, and they told us all about it during a tour of an island.
Not a forest?
Oh.
In Soviet Union.
I mean, it was a forested island. But here's what I'm saying. Raccoons will not only break into your campsite and eat all your food,
Yeah.
they will pour out your water and wash their little hands in it.
Aww.
They will take off the lid of your canteen and wash their little hands. They can
so cute.
definitely unlock a simple door, but the problem is they don't care about gems.
No.
That's true.
They,
That's the only thing keeping that secure. And
Just
the
the
fact that I guess
contents
no
of the
one
vault?
else lives there.
no,
Well, I mean,
apparently not.
like
What did
no,
they-
it's not a. I
Maybe
don't know.
maybe the creepy woods is like a defense system that the
You think the dwarves put those in there?
it's like a Home Alone situation.
Ooh, yeah, maybe they carved the trees to look spooky,
Yeah,
right?
and then they put little teeth on the logs floating in the river
Yeah, she's just like
to make it look like
I
alligators.
mean, the
balls, right?
that
As
she has
goes
to be
through.
because the landscape doesn't make any sense. So she runs away from a tree, falls into a hole, like pretty far down. It seemed
Yeah.
like, and then she's in like a weird bog with crocodile logs.
Yeah, I think what happened was she was like, "I'm hungry. I'm going to try this mushroom."
Yeah,
and then
no, that's because and
then she comes to crying in the middle.
yeah,
of
and let's take a moment to appreciate that the reason she had to just eat some random poison mushroom in the woods is because the huntsman, after deciding not to murder her, gives her nothing. He's like, just run. Don't take this knife that could probably help you. Don't take your fucking horse.
Yeah.
Like, just run.
yeah.
Now I gotta go find a pig to kill.
He's freaked out.
I guess that's
though.
why he keeps
Like,
the
he
knife,
was about to
right?
kill. He was about to kill her, and then he's like, "Get away from me! I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not safe."
Kudos to the people who drew the huntsman because, like, that was some intense shit when he was, like, ready
Yeah,
to
his
stab her.
eyes.
Yeah, and his body language was so cool. Even before any of that violent stuff happened, he had a very like believable heft and weight to his movements.
Is that because they used human references for many of the characters?
They did.
Did they?
They did.
Is that something you know for a fact?
It is something I know for a fact because I read it on the internet on a little site called Wikipedia.
It's time for Molly's
Wikipedia.
She looked at her phone and she read some things about facts from this movie, which is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The word got away from me for a second. Don't worry about it. Wikipedia time.
.org.
Oh, that's so good. I do feel like the energy for the Wikipedia section has really gone out of our sales. So I'm looking forward to when that final listener.
Yes. Of
Oh,
course. I
sure.
forgot my part.
Yep.
Of course, as we all know, we are still awaiting one more $3 vote/donation to decide if we are only doing this segment or never doing this segment again.
Yep.
And there's also only one more vote for an additional $3 on whether or not that segment is actually Beth's Wikipedia corner instead of Molly's. So
Thank
get it
you.
in.
So get in your
And,
votes.
Get in your votes.
Yeah.
One
Get in your vote. There's
votes.
one
That's
person.
right. One person. You're like the.
Yeah.
If you were the dwarf of the listeners, if the listeners were dwarves, you would be Stingy. That'd be your dwarf name.
Yep. You got there.
Thank you.
Fun fact.
Yes.
They had a very long list of dwarf names, like 50,
Ooh.
that they
Whoa.
narrowed down into 7.
Ooh. Can I toss out one that I'm pretty sure is real?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think my wife was telling me about this because she was delighted by it. Wasn't one of them one of the potential names like Biggie Wiggy or something like that?
Burpee was definitely on the list.
Nice.
Great.
And stuck around for a good long time, but
Ooh.
eventually got replaced. Yeah.
Gosh,
So,
you know that that writer's room in 1938 or whatever, where they're just tossing names around. It was probably.
You know the movie happened
so
in 37, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, 37.
Probably more
We
like
were
35.
all wrong.
production started in 35.
Boom.
Yep, there you go.
Well, whatever.
Nice.
They started working
Bunch
on the
of-
storyboards and stuff.
Bunch of white dudes in
cut out-
1935 just throwing around names. Just saying. Probably
Yeah.
got a little dark in that room.
Oh, I bet it got real dark.
It got real
Yeah.
dark. There were some that were awful that I'm not even going to say on the air. But you can look it up on Wikipedia if you're interested.
Yeah.
So the ideation process was over like a full year or two. And one of the things he really wanted was for there to be lots and lots of bits,
Yeah.
like physical bits.
Yeah.
And he would pay people per bit.
What?
And yeah, it was like, I don't know, $1 a bit or $5 a bit, something really like very good.
Whoa.
So how
I
much
want
money-
This job actually.
How much
Yeah.
money did the guy who was like, what if they wash themselves for 10 minutes? How much did he get?
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Is like they had to cram in all these bits, and it was really for a while supposed to be just about the Seven Dwarfs.
Typical,
And they had
right.
animated 2 whole sections, one with 2 of the Grumpy and another
Burpee. Biggie Wiggy.
Yep, and Biggie Wiggy
Little hat.
arguing about
Scrumble butt.
Grumble.
whether to let
Too many
Snow White
feet, see.
stay.
Too many feet.
They just saved all the extra characters for the gremlins.
That's true. Yeah. Exactly.
Lady Dwarf.
Logging accident.
No.
Miner's daughter. Canary.
Dwarfina.
Very E.
Dwarfette.
They cut 2 whole scenes that had already been fully animated, and
Whoa.
the animator almost quit. He was
Oof.
so mad because
Yeah.
it wasn't going to make it into the final movie.
That's rough.
What
What were the
Disney,
scenes?
one was like a couple of dwarves arguing about where Snow White was going to stay, and another was seriously like, I don't know, washing clothes or something. Like
More
building.
washing.
It was building a bed for Snow White.
Aw.
An elaborate
that
scene
should've
with
been in.
animals and dwarves, and they did the whole thing. And they were
half
like,
of this movie
gotta
is-
cut it for time.
It's washing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cleaning.
Which, if you think about all the water animation they had to do to make that real,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Maybe that's why they kept doing the washing, because Walt Disney was just like, we gotta dazzle, we gotta razzle dazzle.
Yeah. And then like
There was,
another
like-
It's like why they
quarter
did
is that-
Finding Nemo, right? It's just like, let's fucking blow their minds with our water rendering.
Sure.
It is amazing.
He thought it was going to cost $250,000, which was already like 5 times as much as anything they had ever done. In the end, it cost almost $1.5 million. He had to mortgage his house and almost lost everything.
Whoa!
Oh, wow.
And everybody
Walt.
called it Disney's Folly for a while until it came out and everybody ate crow.
Yeah, literally, because it was 1937.
Yeah,
But it
Rose.
came out in December of 1937, and in 1938, Disney received an honorary Oscar, and it was 1 regular size Oscar and 7 tiny Oscars, and it was presented by Shirley
Mickey Mouse,
Temple,
Oh.
which is really sweet. But I wonder if part of him wasn't just PO'd, right? Because like, I don't get a real Oscar. I get
I get this joke Oscar from a
joke
child.
Oscar from a child.
It probably did piss him off. I bet it did.
I have no idea.
I bet it did.
But it sounds like a very challenging thing. And one more fun fact:
Please.
getting the Snow White's cheeks red and the Queen's cheeks was a labor-intensive process to find something that would work.
Really?
In the end, one animator named
pinch 'em.
Helen, I think Hoffman. Anyway, she went in and like hand did each and every cell using this tiny, tiny marker with a little cloth over it.
Wow.
And so colored in
Wow.
everyone, and they have never done it again. It was incredibly time intensive.
Yeah.
And she left Disney in 1941, and there was no one who was skilled enough to do it,
Huh.
even if they had wanted to do it again.
Now I need to. Now I
Nice.
feel like I need to go watch like 40s Disney movies and look at the just pallid cheeks of all of the human characters.
Fun fact that my wife learned while we were watching it was that I guess this movie like premiered or ran first run at like Radio City Music Hall or something.
Sure.
And they had to routinely change the sheets because all the children that watched it peed their pants during the scary woods scenes. Like every viewing, the kids
Awesome.
just like all wet themselves because
That's
they were
awesome.
terrified.
The
of
power of film.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I thought that section was scary, but I don't think it was pee your pants scary.
I mean, it was different times, Beth.
Yeah. If
That's
you'd
true.
never seen a movie
Scary
before,
ass movie tree or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
My fun fact from my wife is that the animators like studied anatomy a lot so they could, draw them folks.
Yeah.
And apparently, for whatever reason that I don't really understand, and I maybe even when I was talking to her, I'm just like, what? Doesn't make any sense. But it was apparently Walt Disney logic. He like made them move the class to like the studio because for some reason he felt it was like uncouth for his animators to be like out in the world like drawing nudes, but like on I don't know, like since it was like on company time, he felt like it had to be on the studio grounds. Otherwise, it was like I don't know, scandalous or something.
Yeah, it sounds like a real free-for-all where
I mean, I guess they barely knew what they were doing, right? Because it was
Yeah,
just sort of
they-
like,
they-
I'm going to make a cartoon picture, but it's going to be like 20 times longer than anything we've ever made.
yeah, and there was only one animator who had been classically trained as
Ooh.
an artist. And then there was a professor somebody brought in, and then
Professor of what?
of drawing and
Oh,
animation.
okay.
And it was sort of this weird free-for-all where like it was unclear who were the teacher and who were the students, but more animators came every week because this was like a once-in-a-lifetime that nobody
gold
else was
rush
doing
in
this
animation.
anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They're drawing dwarves out in California. We got to get out there.
They're making a feature. They're making a cartoon feature, Ma.
I got to draw. I've been thinking about washing a dwarf's butt for my whole life.
My theory is the
I
reason
got a
Walt-
design for a squirrel that's going to knock his socks off.
that Walt wanted it on company grounds because he wanted to own all that stuff. You know? Oh,
yeah.
and I think he wanted to be invited.
Oh,
I
probably.
bet he was kind of lonely. I bet people did not.
Ooh, I bet he was. Can
bet
we
yeah.
talk about the
The apology at the beginning?
well, I mean, it wasn't an apology in terms of the words on the screen, but just dripping with subtext message at the beginning of the movie, where it was like, I would like to thank with great gratitude all of the wonderful people who worked on this film. It couldn't have been done without your hard work. Walt Disney, which, like, I believe, Beth, you summed it up as, sorry for yelling at all of you. Which definitely happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, God, now I'm really delighted at picturing, like, everybody just hunkering down, learning how to draw a deer or whatever, and Walt Disney just, like, smashing the door and is like, all right, come on. Just throw out some names. We need dwarf names. Go. Go. You.
Piggy Wiggy, Piggy Wiggy.
Okay, yeah, fine, great. How about you?
Sir Hammer's a lot. I don't know.
I don't know. Chew. Yeah, sneezy. There we go. Gotta have a sneeze in
This guy's
dwarf.
high end.
The kids will love the
Chipmunk
sneeze.
cleaning with his tail.
Yeah.
Oh man, that poor Sleepy. I think Sleepy has like an iron deficiency.
Yes. He totally does. There's some disease
He
that they
only has
haven't.
one tooth.
There's some disease they haven't figured out yet in 1200 AD or whatever.
Apparently it's like 1814.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
it's fine.
I do like that it keeps that.
And the year zero.
Speaking of animals cleaning things with their tails, those forest animals were so goddamn delightful
They're
every
so
step
good.
of the way.
I love them.
They were super
I love them
cute.
so much.
They had delightful physical comedy moments. It was very enjoyable to watch all the different ways they used their tails to clean house. And then even when the bird like snuffed out a candle with its tail, which seems very ill considered.
Yep.
There's a bird that measures sugar and adds it to a pie
That was pretty
with
cool.
its tail.
Well, that was cool when the
I-
bird signed Grumpy on a pie.
That is
Oh.
like, that was a nostalgia moment for me. Like when they put their little like feet
on the
to mark
pie.
in the
Yeah.
pie.
I mean, not
It's so
hygienic
cute.
at all.
No,
Oh,
but so
someone's
cute.
gonna get dysentery.
I was realizing that, like, I think the reason that I liked the princesses so much is that they were like could talk to animals, and animals would like hang out with them.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like that is the coolest part about Snow White for sure.
I do like that I like that the animals like still retained like some realistic behavior. Like at the beginning when she's first just like just completely like still coming down from like just being blazed out of her mind. Like they all kind of come out just like, what the fuck is that? And then when she like gets up, they all just like immediately just like shit and scramble.
yeah.
That felt very true to life.
Yeah.
I mean, the scrambling part, like not all of these species simultaneously being like, oh, what's over here?
So,
Yeah.
yeah. There's something
So-
very pleasing about sort of like the through line of all these old Disney movies, and you see like the same deer and rabbits and squirrels and birds, and they all kind of look the same. Like the first chipmunk that
The
runs out,
models
it's
kind of,
Chip.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
the same, and like every movie kind of has these like pleasant, soft edged, nice forest creatures that just like hop around and are pleasant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It- it
no, I-
really,
it's like the-
connected with that.
The DNA, right? It's
Explain.
all in this one movie.
Oh, of like
it gets
just like
unpacked,
the
right? Because
Disney
Chip and Dale
film.
are born in this movie.
Yeah.
Like those two chipmunks hanging out playing,
Yeah.
they
Right.
became Chip and Dale, and Thumper and Bambi.
Oh, Thumper. And Bambi,
Because
yeah.
it's like the personality.
That's true.
started
Like
to
there's
develop.
literally a scene where when Snow White is like, oh, maybe they don't have a mother. The baby deer is like all affectionate with its mother. And that's
Oh
maybe.
yeah,
So then maybe Walt Disney saw that. So he's just like, yeah, that'll do it. That'll tug at the old
Burn that
heartstrings.
mother in a forest fire.
Yes, kill the mother and we'll make a movie out of it.
Oy.
Yes.
Speaking of things that would have terrified me when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
no, I just wanted to say I had the biggest boost of nostalgia watching this movie that I absolutely did not expect, because it has been truly since I was a kid since I've seen it. But any time that turtle appears,
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
from the very first appearance all the way through, I was just like melting inside.
I love that turtle.
And like a lot of the bird stuff. And I didn't realize there's this bird family with a mama, papa bird, and a baby bird
Yeah.
that are a continuing line through most of the movie.
Yes.
And it's one that Snow White helps the baby bird find her parents, which, actually wasn't that challenging, but she does help, which is really sweet. And yeah, it's just like even every moment of that. So I felt actually way more interested in this movie And then probably the same thing happened when I was a kid is when it started to focus on the dwarves and hygiene. I just like checked out.
How dare you? What a great song that was. Just put your hands in and put them on your face and make it weird.
There's a lot of that noise.
That turtle is goddamn amazing. I love that turtle. I loved when it was pulling itself up the stairs with its little turtle beak, and then it became a running gag that it would like finally get to the location, and then all the animals would be running back in the other direction. Guy just can't catch a break.
No.
Oh, but still loved and helped by other animals. I liked he and the chipmunks relationship. Very sweet.
Yes. Oh yeah, there was a moment. When was it? There was a moment where I just went yes out loud, and it had to do with the turtle. What was it? Oh fuck.
I mean, my favorite turtle moment is when they're washing the clothes on the turtle's stomach.
That's what it
and
was.
It's like
Yeah.
tickling
That's
it,
what it was.
and then it
Yep.
like gets
Yep.
pulled back, and
Yep.
then the chipmunk gets into the shell
Yeah.
with the turtle.
Thank you. That is exactly what
Oh,
it was.
cute.
As soon as it cut to that, I just went yes out loud. Love that turtle. Love that turtle. Unlike Molly, loved the absurdly long and musically inclined scene of washing up.
Yeah. The animals are great. No wolves.
No,
No,
No.
No,
wolves.
any representation.
not
of
even a
wolves.
howl.
No.
Surprised.
Nice job.
I was surprised.
I wonder when the first anti-wolf propaganda
howl.
comes into a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I thought you said not even an owl, and I
Oh,
was
there's
very confused.
definitely an
'cause I was
owl.
Like, there's definitely an owl
That's
at the
that
beginning.
that owl is like what triggers her trip.
Yeah.
Dan, you were very curious about the governmental structure of this 19th century
I
Germany.
was. I mean, I was when we first started talking about it in the first half, I was already intrigued because we weren't sure like if the queen and the prince and blah blah blah, like how they were associated. We still don't know. Presumably the prince is just from some neighboring kingdom and he's just wandering around sneaking up on girls. But yeah,
Like
the
an
queen
Austrian prince or something.
Queen is the stepmother, which means that she used her wiles, as Grumpy would say,
Oh yeah,
to
grumpy.
get in with the king, who is, I guess, just gone, maybe dead, maybe just asleep the whole
it's a Disney
time.
movie because he's
probably dead. You're right.
Yeah.
One of the parents has. Well, she has a stepmother, so I'm assuming
They're both
her
dead.
mom is dead. Yeah, they're both.
Do you
dead.
think she poisoned Snow White's mom to get in?
Well, I'm assuming because Snow White is such a beautiful baby,
Oh yeah.
that her mother was probably beautiful
I was
as
probably
well.
banging.
Mom be banging.
Or her mom was banging.
Yeah.
You could say that as well.
But yeah, I guess my question is like the dwarves know who the queen is. So like she clearly has dominion over like pretty much the whole environment that this movie takes place in. But then like she just leaves, right? Like at one point she's like gets into disguise and sneaks out of her own castle. And then she falls down a cliff, presumably never to be seen again. And then the princess, who is presumably the heir apparent of that kingdom, is just like in a coffin in the woods for, as Beth pointed out, at least a few months.
Yeah.
So like as for all we know, like that entire kingdom is just like in complete disarray. And there was like a huge power vacuum. The huntsman is probably like staging a coup, or or he's just like pledged his knife to some duke or whatever.
I bet the raccoons took over.
Ooh, I bet they
Their
did.
tiny human hands.
Well, they broke into the vault.
Yeah.
And they brought the wealth, and they were like, ooh, like we'll take over this with capital. And then all the greedy men were like, yes, give me the gems. Ugh, I'm gonna bathe in them. And then the raccoons took over. Because I don't know if we see the raccoons at the funeral. That's a good point. That's a really
That's
good
the
point.
evidence.
Too busy ruling.
Too busy ruling the
They
kingdom.
plundered the gem vault
Yep.
and bribed their way to the throne.
Yep. Makes okay.
I mean, it
that's
has
canon.
been like almost a full year.
That's
so,
canon. It's
yeah.
official Totes canon of Snow White is after the queen dies, the raccoons take over.
Yeah. I think that's
I love it.
If I remember biology, that's about how long it takes for raccoons to take over a government. It's about 9 months.
About 9 months, yeah.
Yeah, that's there.
I mean, if they have enough capital to
Sure,
fund
if
their
they're given
campaign,
the proper
yeah.
capital.
Mm-hmm.
What are
Clearly
those
did.
gems for, though, other than
I don't know.
overthrowing the government? What are the dwarves doing with all
Because
of them?
Doc is like clearly like checking them for quality, and he has like different bags of like the carrots or whatever.
You
And
would
they are
think they
getting-
would buy more than one pillow for downstairs,
Right.
just
Yeah.
in general. Just
and
to
they're
have.
mining a ton of gems.
So
Yeah.
many.
Like that cave, it's
It's like all
insane.
gem.
Yeah.
There's hardly any rock in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I wonder if they're like, I don't know. They're probably like, they're probably just like the Duck Dynasty guys, right? Where like they come off as like this very like rural, sort of like, you
They've got
know,
it all in Bitcoin.
like salt of the earth, but they actually have this like massive financial empire that's funding their
Offshore.
lifestyle.
They do have the same beard as the Duck Dynasty guys.
Think
Yes.
about it.
So
And
makes sense.
And we did decide Grumpy at least was like a very conservative.
You know what?
Yeah.
Okay, new theory. Their house is so dusty and unused because they spend most of the year traveling around.
Like it's mining
on
season.
Island. It's mining season,
okay.
just like
Yeah.
what,
Sure,
3 days?
Yep,
Elf
I got
babes
you.
Yeah.
and stuff.
Dig,
Yeah.
and then go back to wherever.
Yeah.
okay, I
Yeah.
also have a problem with their song because they sing "Hi ho, hi ho."
Yep.
It's off to work we go.
They
Yeah,
sang
going
both.
both
on
directions.
their way home after work.
What? No.
Yeah.
That's inaccurate.
No. They sang that they're going home the first time, and then on the way to work, they singing off to work.
They say
I
off to
don't
work
think
both
so.
ways. I think.
No,
Yeah.
they say home from work
Home
or
from
something.
work we go?
We had the subtitles on, man.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
it's true. Beth, I
Or
had a
off from
similar
work.
experience because they, instead of saying off to work, it's off to home to start.
Because my wife and I were freaking out because we're like, I thought it was off to work, and then they sing it the right way when they go to work the next day.
Yep.
What?
Yes.
My mind is blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I totally thought they were saying off to work. Also, another misheard thing. She does say who's the
Magic
fairest of them
mirror.
all, but
Yeah.
she says magic mirror
Yep.
and not mirror
It's a
mirror.
bunch of
And
bullshit.
that mirror gives it to her straight.
I
It
love
does
that
not
mirror.
Pussyfoot around.
No. That mirror, what I love about that mirror is like that it comes off as like being really bored. Like I'm sure it's just like some demon, right? Who's just like spending most of his time in the netherworld. Then every once in a while it's just like beep, 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 beep. Ah, God. And then has to go up to the mirror.
But you
You're
know,
like,
that is-
yes, it's through the 7 worlds of jumbled town or whatever it is.
But that is exactly what the internet is, right? Like we
Bored?
have at our disposal all the knowledge of the world. And what do people want to know?
Am I hot?
Am I
Am
hot?
I hot?
Who's hot?
Like how many likes did I
Who's
get?
hot? I mean, there's that great meme of a guy putting a tiny domino at the start of an increasingly larger row of dominoes that starts with like figuring out which girls are hot at Harvard, and then the last domino is like the complete destabilization of the world. That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, I love that mirror because he's so bored. Mm-hmm. He just did not give a shit,
Well, and like you're asked the same question every day.
right?
Like
This
how about
mirror
ask me
clearly
something
knows
cool?
a
Every
ton of
day.
stuff. The mirror knew she was at the dwarf's house. Like,
Hey, how could we increase crop production?
right.
How about
Or
that?
like, yeah, or maybe even just like some new spell books. Like maybe get me some new spell books.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's only got like 5 too.
And she apparently is just like goes right for the poison apple.
Right.
Which is very Adam and Eve.
It is. Although I gotta say, like, I had a great time with old hag version of the Queen.
Old Hag is iconic.
I
She
really
looks so
loved
great.
her.
Yeah.
She looks so great. She sounds, her voice is great.
I felt a little attacked by the cackle reference in it.
Why? You don't laugh at women getting buried alive,
Oh, that's fair.
Gosh,
which she thought
loves
was
the idea of getting buried
hilarious.
alive.
that was maybe my favorite part of the Hag Queen was when she goes buried alive. Cackle, cackle, cackle. The raven is like losing its mind and so terrified. She's on her way out the door.
Yeah, she's making full eye contact with the raven, cackling about being buried alive as she lowers her little like
Yeah.
fucking.
And then
basement
one last time,
staircase.
just to call back it, buried alive.
And she's still cackling all the way down the stairs, all the way to her boat out of her moat.
Yeah,
boat, her
and
moat
then
boat.
like still
Boat.
kind of laughing when she's like walking through the woods. Like I
Yeah,
just
it's one
want
of
to.
those, like, whew, buried
I just
alive.
imagine her. Yeah,
She's
just like every once in a while, just be like buried alive.
She had some great moments, and one of my favorite favorite things was probably based off one of those nude models
Okay.
that they she walks out, she walks outside of the house after she's just killed Snow White, and she sees that the dwarves are coming towards the house, and she kind of puts her shoulders up and she looks both ways and then like scuttles away.
Yeah, I like that too. It's great.
It really is like, I was like, that is my favorite thing I've ever seen. Like just the way she runs away is like.
The like isolated GIF I want of her is just when she's at the window and she goes like making pies.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah, that
just want that on
window.
repeat.
Like I mean, I guess that's just what royalty do, because she did the same thing as the prince. Like she just like shoved her head in the window and just like, oh, what are you doing?
Sweet thing, are you alone?
Are the little men around?
And what would the dwarves do faced with that much power and malice? What would the dwarves like? Would they hack her to bits with their?
I mean, as we learned, when they still weren't sure what Snow White was, they were ready to just like hack the shit out of anything in their house.
But it took them like 40 minutes to come up with that plan, and they were terrified the whole time.
That's true. And their plan was like sacrifice Dopey.
Yeah. They really throw him under the bus.
They really
I
do.
think
Poor guy.
That the dwarves have God on their side.
Oh.
Because she's about to like use the stick to like lever the huge stone.
She's
going
gonna
to
use
crush
science,
them all.
which, as we know, is evil
Yes,
for women to
exactly.
use in 1100 AD.
And then God throws down a thunderbolt,
Smites her.
smites her.
Yeah.
She falls off a cliff.
And then the
Her
vultures
line-
are like,
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, vultures were like, we're gonna get some
Those
snacks,
vultures
no matter
are
how
so
this
funny.
turns
Yeah,
out.
I love how they just like, she was cackling. They probably overheard her mutter, buried alive. They're just like, oh yeah, all right. And they just follow her the whole time. They don't even interact with her. They're just like, this is gonna work out for us for sure.
Oh man. Well, I tell you what. I think if I were a kid in 1937,
Yeah.
and I were watching this movie for the first time, when she's standing there with that boulder and she specifies, "I'm going to crush your bones,"
Yeah.
I might let out some pee.
Little P?
It was very explicit as
Yeah.
a threat.
Yeah.
Like it was very scary.
Yeah, she's very like overtly murderous in this movie.
Although honestly, if she had been like, "And the little birds will die too," I would have been like that would have been harder.
You.
Yeah.
Who? This is a bit of a pivot. Who is your favorite dwarf?
Mine, still after all these years, is Dopey.
Lovely. Why?
I think he's a great physical comedian.
He is. He is.
So talented.
I think he's delightful, and he just like is kind of goofy and charming, and
Yeah.
I like him.
Quick sidebar. Speaking of Dopey being great at physical comedy, I think my dumb child brain, when I thought that his head popped off, was more when he was doing the two kids in a trench coat thing with Sneezy.
Yes.
And then Sneezy sneezes and he like shoots out of the jacket.
Yeah.
So like I think my childhood was just like, holy fuck, his head just popped off. And then I probably blended that with like, his like floppy sleeve dancing.
He's also an amazing drummer.
So good.
Yeah, he crushes, right?
He does like a great fill just by like throwing a bunch of sticks behind him.
Yeah.
That was very impressive.
Yep. It was great.
I think Doc might be my favorite.
Okay.
And I think the reason is I enjoyed all the wordplay because he would get lots of words out of order and jumble them and jumble their meaning.
Which Grumpy exploited all the time.
Well, Grumpy's kind of a jerk, more like jerky.
He's a grump.
He is a grump.
He's
He
just
was
grumpy.
he was sometimes right about the current situations they were in, but
He's
tactless.
like so anti-women.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
boy.
wild how he's like, you can't trust them with their wiles. They're coming for you. Steal your
Bleh,
essence.
gross. Women. Ugh.
And he keeps
He's had his heart
harping on
broken
this.
So,
too many times.
I bet he did. So, are you saying Grumpy's your favorite dwarf, Dan?
We haven't finished with Doc.
I think I like Dopey. As a kid, I liked Dopey. I still like Dopey.
sorry,
He's a
Molly's not done talking about how great Doc is.
Oh, sure.
Women.
Quickly,
Meh.
in addition to all the wordplay and all
Yes.
that fun, I liked that Doc had a skill. was just really good at figuring out what were real gems and which weren't.
Oh, sure.
It's nice to see some competency.
That's true.
That's
Grumpy could play that butt organ really well. And Dopey is a good drummer.
Sleepy's got a good. He had like a flute going on. or
Yeah,
something.
Happy's a pretty good yodeler.
All right.
I mean, they're having a good when they party.
It's a real hoot
They
name.
party hard.
They do party hard. Oh, that butt organ. That killed me.
Yeah. I think we should. We got a lot of Discord questions, and one of them relates to what we're talking about. So I think
It does.
I think we should dig into these.
Open it up.
Dig, dig,
Dig, dig, dig, dig, dig. Discord, dig, dig, Discord, dig, dig.
Discord. Yeah. So Patreon.com/. Patrons have access
Really?
to
Really?
Try again.
Patreon.com/Totes Recall.
There you go.
.com. Patrons have access to our Discord, and we post the day we're watching the movie for any questions. And we got quite a few
Hooray.
either people connected a lot to this movie, or I posted a GIF for the first time when I asked a question, and everybody loves it.
Is that the key for engagement? Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see.
If that's what got you, tweet at us. Hashtag Discord GIF yes. Or hashtag who cares?
Great. Francis asks, how does the animation hold up to a viewing today? And then also wishes Molly a happy National Hat Day.
Oh. That's very kind. And also, I hate the hat lance
You
a
went on a
bit.
journey with that.
Nice. Good job.
I think the animation holds up to a degree.
I think it's
it
very
looks
pretty.
older, but it
Yes.
still looks good.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about
it is definitely a vintage style that you can definitely tell, like, oh yeah, they were just sort of figuring this out as they went.
But yeah, but other than like the lack of nose, I feel like in 1937, I would
pretty
imagine
cool.
people's minds were blown by this.
It's very
right?
pretty.
Maybe
Well,
they're peeing
especially
their
'cause-
pants just been like, what?
Yeah.
A color cartoon?
A
can't do
giant
that.
tree on the screen that turns into a different, creepier tree.
Those vultures are like people.
The way that they do it too is like pretty ingenious because they have this like huge setup that's like the background goes on the bottom level and then there's the cell goes on top of it. So they actually have a camera shooting down from both of them so they can move the background and things like that and like zoom in on stuff. So they're actually shooting it with a camera.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it's incredibly impressive. It's very smooth.
It's
It's
very
not
cool.
like choppy. I feel like later Disney movies are a little bit more choppy actually.
Because they just did
Because
it
they're like,
quicker.
I don't know, just do it faster.
Come on, we got to get another one.
Cheeks pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we saw that Robin Hood, right? Where you can
Yep.
still see some of like the pencil lines in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah,
doesn't get in
Fox.
the way of the story at all, and it's the economy of movement really serves the story and the personalities incredibly well for the most part. Yeah, like especially
Also-
among the animals.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody drew that squirrel sneezing itself into a little jar, and it was the best thing in the world.
Great
I
bit.
love it so
Hope they got
much.
$10 for that bit.
Yep. Yeah, or like I hope they got a bunch of dollars for the squirrels that were picking up cobwebs and
Yeah,
making
Boil
spiders
them
mad.
up in like a little cotton candied
Yeah,
situation.
and then the other one weaving it up into a yarn ball and then pissing off the spider that owned it.
That angry spider is like brandishing its arms.
It's so
Oh,
cute.
and that angry little mouse.
Angry
Oh,
mouse.
the
Yeah,
mouse
this
is real good.
I was thinking how we get angry like evil mouse in this one, but then by the time we get to Cinderella,
Yeah, they're just like
mice are her
fat
friends.
and goofy.
yeah,
Yeah.
great. Ben Vis asks, the dwarves mine, right? Hi ho and all that. What are they digging up and why are they just hoarding wealth?
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
we kind of went
yes.
down that rabbit hole.
Yes. I think the answer is yes in all counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be like rubies are no good, only diamonds. And they just put it into a hut
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
lock it up.
Rubies
It's
make
like a
clank,
wooden
clank, clank
door.
noises.
That's
but-
called vault.
But maybe
yeah.
they're like working with the raccoons to take over the government.
Oh,
They're
shit.
funding the.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're funding the
Like-
raccoon uprising.
We
I
are
love it.
sick of living in the woods and we would like a different government.
The queen is over-regulating
Yeah.
the market
Do you suppose that the animals weren't just drawn to Snow White because she's kind, but they were actually petitioning her on behalf of all of the creatures? They're like, "You're a princess. Can you help us?" And she was like, "Oh, help me do these dishes." And they're like, "Okay, great, but we're being oppressed."
They were trying to like get some political leverage, and they're just like, yeah, okay, I guess we can clean up first. Sure.
The queen's deforesting our habitat just for her hunting grounds.
Her woodsmen are taking the hearts out of our neighbors.
Ooh, I'm your mummy now.
Okay, it's bedtime.
God damn it. All right, we'll go to bed, but tomorrow we plan the revolution. Yes.
Awesome. Lady Grimm, how nothing is the prince? I don't even remember if this one has a name.
Ooh.
Yeah, this prince is a real nothing.
Real dud.
He doesn't have a name. He's prince, but queen is
I think
queen.
he's Prince Charming.
I mean, that's what they
right?
call him because she's like, he's so charming.
that Prince Charming?
Well, I think
thought that
so.
was
He's just
Cinderella.
Prince Charming. Oh.
Ooh, wait.
No,
shit.
I had the same thought, but I turned on the captions. He's described as charming, but he's never Prince Charming.
God, they really.
But who's
just
Prince
did the same
Charming then?
movie. I think that's Cinderella,
Cinderella.
Cinderella?
or maybe Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, boy.
Oy.
No, that's Prince something else.
Ugh.
George
Anyway.
Simmons.
He's got a different name.
No.
Anyway, this prince sucks. He first is like just a creep, and it's just like, and now I'm singing next to you. Wait, don't go away. I'm still singing at you.
Anyway,
I'm not
his
gonna
dove
leave
down
until
to
you
Dove
come
Town.
down and talk to me. And then later, yeah, he's just like wandering in the woods, just like singing blandly to a corpse. And
Yeah, I wish they would have spent less time washing hands and more time developing his character. Because I do think she's like singing and then he surprises her, which is not cool. But then
She's
they
like-
kind of have some chemistry.
Yeah.
She sends him a kiss and he's like, I'm doing
she
the
sends
thing that
him
you're
a
doing.
horny dove, which, as we
Horny
all
dove.
know, in 800 BC is the traditional way to court.
Yes.
Is you send
jumped.
a sexually active bird to your partner, your potential partner.
And lo, the horny bird was sent to the prince down below.
Originally,
Yes.
they were horny owls.
Say what
Yeah,
now?
Great horn owls, am I right?
Yes.
Wait, they were originally just getting a bunch of.
Horny owls.
Great horned owl is a type of owl
Yes, and they are horny. Are they? I don't know.
because they're really horny.
So, I
Wait,
do
what was
wanna
the question?
I
How
want to
nothing is-
defend the prince just
Okay.
a little bit.
Please,
Okay.
please do.
I feel like he had such a necessary role in the plot,
Yes.
but an unnecessary role in the heart of the movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that I feel really attached to a turtle,
Yeah.
like really attached, and even to that dove. Like I got what that dove was about.
Yeah, you did.
That dove made it very clear.
And he didn't have that much, but I don't know. I actually felt comforted because I'd forgotten that at the beginning he shows up and they show a mutual attraction for each other.
That's true. Like,
And she's
yeah.
not looking for a charming prince. She
Yes.
wants this charming prince.
Right.
So I don't know. Given how courtship used to work,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, this is pretty good, actually.
I will say, I will give credit to this prince that, like, he. I guess, like, in a void, like, he's still probably better than Prince Eric just because, like, he throws a little flavor into his song, right? Like, he's clearly, like, got some, like, emotion and, like, intent behind his song. Eric's just sitting on a boat playing that stupid flute, and then he's just like, what? Oh, you're so pretty. I'm the prince of this kingdom.
You know, maybe it's like the Bourne identity.
What?
Yeah. So, like, apparently, so there was the Bourne identity, the Bourne supremacy, and then whatever the last Jason Bourne movie is that.
Yeah.
Ultimatum.
Ultimate.
Ultimate.
Ultimate Born.
Prince. Ultimate Born.
To be
Yeah,
Born in the
Born
USA.
again.
Born in the USA. Born to ride.
Born again.
Born again.
But Matt Damon worked on all three of those. And for the third one, they had a lot of challenges around the script. And initially, they had a lot more lines for Jason Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
But they realized that part of what makes him interesting is he doesn't talk that much.
Yeah. He talks with his hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only
So-
seen the first one.
Maybe the prince is similar in that way.
kinda same.
That if Eric had fewer lines, we'd be like, oh, he might be interesting. We just
That's
don't know
true.
for sure.
That's
But
fair.
instead, they revealed to us that he's not interesting.
Yeah,
at
he's
all.
just like, oh, I just want to be a prince or whatever. I don't remember.
I-
I just remember we all hated Prince.
We really did.
Yes. I looked him up. He is Prince Florian,
Ugh.
Oh.
which is like something that like people call him, even though he doesn't really have a
See,
name in the
this
movie.
is what I'm talking about because I looked up whether the queen had a name, and they were like, "Ooh, sometimes she's known as Queen Grimhilda or something." Just like nobody calls her that in the goddamn movie.
That's all these.
Yeah.
Oh, because we were
weird.
trying to see if it was past the Bechdel Wallace.
Yeah. Prince Philip is Sleeping Beauty.
Prince
Charming is
Philip.
Cinderella.
Got
Okay.
it. Good job, everybody.
And
Good
then
job.
But yeah, the
Prince
Bechdel
Ali is Aladdin.
Yes.
Prince is Purple Rain.
My mom has a cat named Prince.
Nice. Shout out to your mom. Thanks for listening.
I think it does pass the Bechdel Wallace.
Yeah.
I know that some of us disagree that Queen can be a name, but I think like if you were watching something about Queen Elizabeth and everyone just kept calling her the Queen,
Yeah.
like she has a name.
I
you
guess.
know? Like that's her title.
Sure. I guess
And
that's
everyone
like
just
her
keeps calling her
true
the
name
queen.
as far as us peasants are concerned, right?
Well, and if she
Yeah.
were Queen 1 or Queen 5 or something like that, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Like Woman 1
Yeah.
or Woman 5. So
I guess maybe the-
I'm willing to give it to them.
The spirit of the test is like the name is this like a known character of importance
Right.
enough where we know who she is, sort of.
I guess.
Yeah, she's not
Name
an
is shorthand
extra.
for it.
I guess if you just said, the queen in Snow White, you know what character you're talking about.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
All right, I'll give it a pass.
I-
Talk about an apple.
They do talk about an apple. They talk about Little Men. That doesn't count. They talk about
Yeah.
apples, though.
They talk a lot about men in their conversation,
Yeah.
but there are a few sentences
They talk
in there
about
that are not.
pies. They talk about the magic
Megan
of apples.
pies.
Heart, my heart.
My hat. Can we talk
Oh,
about
and
how?
P.S.
Oh,
Snow White, for some reason, feels like she has to take care of this lady, too.
Yeah, she
Invites
is
her in,
just
gives her
like-
well,
well. I mean, as far as she
just-
knows, she's just some old lady who's trying
I
to
know,
give out
I'm
apples.
just saying she tries to mother everyone
Everybody.
she encounters.
Because she's got
And
no
I
mother.
hope that the prince is cool with that, or they're going to have to work some stuff out.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she's also maybe a child still, so
Oh, she's definitely still a child.
so they might have to.
She's like 15.
figure a lot of things
She's like
out.
15 for sure.
Yeah.
And the prince is
Yeah.
like maybe generously
16?
18. I'm going to say 18 generously, but he's probably like 25.
I mean, really, they should just kind of hang out. For
They
a
should
while.
just hang out, throw horny birds at each other for a while.
Hey, teens.
Hey, teens?
Before you jump into marriage,
Yes.
make sure you grab a horny bird,
Yep. Thank you.
chuck it at your partner.
chuck it at your partner. Just see if you have some things in common and
Yeah.
how, like, work some things out.
Yeah. But
You know?
also, hey, parents of teens, if they come to you and say that you got a bird, they got a bird thrown at them because this podcast told their partner to, we're not liable.
We're not liable.
No.
We know
I mean,
any
it's
teens out
kind-
there. They just want to flock, but you
kinda
just
like-
gotta throw birds at each other.
Wow.
Sending tweets, right?
Huh?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Tweeting.
Sending tweets. Tweeting.
Horny tweets.
Sure.
Just get horny on Maine and
Yeah. Sex
Don't
on
get
the
married.
internet.
yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, no, this is bad
Dress up
advice.
like a dove.
Stop.
This is bad advice.
Hey, us.
Hey,
cool.
hey, you're on notice, us. Can we
Okay.
take a brief moment to appreciate that the queen had the magic apple and like the whole thing, like her whole plan was just like, ooh, look at this perfect magic apple. But she still felt the need to put it in a basket of other apples.
I
Well, you
appreciated
can't-
that, too.
Was that just to
can't
make that apple look even better?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just weird to all walk around with a basket
Yep.
with just one apple. in
Like
it.
out in the
and
woods
then
with just
Snow
one
White
apple?
would say, "Oh, I won't take your last apple."
Oh, that's a
Yep.
good point.
That's how,
Or she'd
how
be like,
rude.
I don't want your pocket apple.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Like,
I do love the idea of her like going to some store and be like, go out into the orchard and get me the most shitty looking apples you can find.
And bring me their hearts. Wait, no, that's the huntsman. Never mind.
And if you bring me too nice of an apple, I'll kill you or something. I'm going to go talk to my mirror.
oh, yes, you look good.
I did want to say thank you, everybody. That was
Yes,
wonderful.
absolutely.
If you liked this segment, then really pile on next time. I'll put a GIF. We'll see what happens.
Maybe that's what it is.
I did want to say I own a copy of the Grimm's Fairy Tales, no big deal, from which this movie was pulled.
Mm-hmm.
And as we spoke about it, I think in a different episode, they often have a insanely dark ending.
Yes.
So I checked this one. This one ends with the queen, who is a mother, not a stepmother, comes to the wedding anyway.
wow.
It's unclear why she comes, but then they're like, we got her. And they put her in heated iron shoes and make her dance until she dies.
Oh my God.
Wait. So, like, part of the wedding ceremony is just to entrap the mother?
She just shows up, and I think they take the opportunity. I mean, it's a short folktale,
But,
right?
like, they had the shoes ready to go.
I guess so. Maybe that's a common thing in
Maybe that's
5000
like maybe the
BC
dwarves.
Germany.
Maybe the dwarves were like, in dwarven tradition, we present to you these iron shoes, and then they just had the sadistic idea of like, what if we heat up these shoes and make her dance?
Yeah,
That is terrible.
Yeah, it's
That is
real.
terrible.
yeah,
I mean, she was
Get
going to
into
crush
that
their
in the movie.
bones, Molly.
yeah.
I can't.
Just squash that.
The
probably eat
movie,
that
the
turtle.
original draft was so long. There were so many attempts the witch
I mean,
makes.
all those hand washing scenes. Oh,
Yeah, they replaced it all. They were like, no, we need more visual gags.
right.
Okay, now it's time for breakfast. Everybody, wash their hands again.
Yeah, because the story's in like 3 beats of trying to kill Snow White. It's like first she shows up and like tightens her corset until she like suffocates, but the dwarves come back and loosen it. She's fine, and then she comes with a poison comb and like gets that in her hair, and she falls down. But the dwarves come and like take the comb out, and it's
Okay.
fine.
Great.
And then the poison apple's the third thing, and it's super effective.
And
that's-
then the guy shows up and kisses her in her coffin.
yeah, she's still the glass coffin is from the original,
all right.
and he shows up and kisses her, and it's fine. And then they get married and make,
torture her mother to death.
which they torture her brother at their wedding,
Wow.
as is tradition
mean,
in 1
Take
million
that, Game of
BC.
Thrones.
Yeah.
Germanic
Oh,
Patagonia.
Great. What?
no wonder people are such rule followers in Germany.
Yeah.
Eey.
Oh yeah, because of all the
All the
Death
terrible
to the-
stories.
All the morality tales that end with like,
Yes.
or you'll get tortured.
yeah. I think it's it's
Yikes.
Yeah, even their like Santa Claus is like that.
Oh, really?
Krampus.
Sinterklaas.
I mean, Krampus
is
isn't their Santa Claus. Krampus is like in addition to Santa Claus.
No, I know. There's Santa Claus, and then they have Krampus
Yeah.
for the bad kids, and
Yeah.
Krampus will like
Rules. Krampus
Hit
He
you
fucking
puts
with
you in a
rules.
sack and like whips you around in a sack, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
he's terrifying.
Like Jason in
He's a monster.
Space.
He's a monster.
Ugh.
Yes. Yes, Dan.
Jason
Good
verse. Yeah.
Jason
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
But that's a callback to, I think, Jason 6.
Okay.
We can talk about this on our spin-off
Wow.
podcast. Dan and Dan talk about old, dumb horror movies that
great.
maybe we both watched.
That's a really good title, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Coming soon to this feed, maybe.
Nice.
Maybe. No
Hey,
promises.
you know what's also nice?
Hey,
I was right about 1939 being the year the women came out.
excellent.
Very
What is the
nice.
women?
Yeah.
So Beth reminded me that I brought this up on a totally different podcast, or same
I
podcast
think.
but different episode for The Wizard of Oz, because The Wizard of Oz was also 1939.
I see.
But that year was big because this movie called The Women, which was Oscar-winning, opened, and it opened at a theater in Atlanta that opened in 1939, and I think is still hanging on. I think it's still open. But I saw The Women when I was a kid because they were doing a revival. They were doing a grand reopening of the theater, and so they showed the first movie that they ever showed, and it is a very good movie. I watched it again recently. A lot of rapid talk, but it is great. So
You feel like it should have
if
been
you're
on
like,
a
oh
certain
man,
list?
I wanted to watch Snow White only if it came out in 1939, I'll just say try The Women. That's
Okay.
relevant. That definitely ties in and isn't weird
Great.
to have brought up.
Yeah. If you're some sort of time traveler from the mid to early 30s and you have stumbled upon this podcast, There's
Check
gonna
out
be a
the
couple
women.
First of
different
all,
movies
good
in
job.
Oh, yeah. First of all, good job.
Yeah.
You've picked up technology very quickly.
Very good.
And we're proud of you.
But
Yeah.
also, such is the realm of gods and monsters, and you should destroy that machine immediately.
The Morlocks are coming for you.
Right?
What?
No.
They're waiting
Yes.
for you.
I don't know.
H.G. Wells wrote a little book called The Time Machine, and it featured the Morlocks,
And the
which then became the X-Men that lived underground.
Hey, teens.
Yeah, what?
Teens, do you have a piece of information that's relevant to a conversation, but it's going to come out kind of snooty?
Are you talking to me?
I thought you were going to give them advice. You're just asking them a rhetorical question.
I think she just burned both of you
Both of us.
majorly.
What did I
and
do?
you didn't even notice.
What did I? Did I get burned? Is that a double Dan burn?
It was a double Dan burn
Damn it.
for referencing H.G. Wells.
Well,
I certainly feel like an invisible man right now.
I know what you mean.
Ooh. The War of the Worlds.
I better go 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's Jules Verne.
Yep, it is Jules Verne. Man, that book should have been called 20,000 Lists of Fish. Let me tell you.
Check out our new podcast, Dan and Dan Talk About real old-ass sci-fi
Yeah.
books. Before we get to our final reviews of the film that we have talked about the entire time, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs,
The seven.
we like to read a review of our podcast, totsregal.com, in the style of a character from the film which we have just watched. However, we do not have a review, so we will not be doing that segment. So, get them in.
I was practicing my Snow White the whole time, too. Every time she said something, I'd be like,
La 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 la.
Yeah.
I'm a bird. There's a bird over there.
Great.
I love birds so much.
You're crushing it.
That is incredible.
Go to the wishing well. And then we'll also go to the well. Please come back from your house. I just want to talk to you.
Oh.
Here are our final ratings of the movie that we watched, Snow White. And as we all remember, the rating scale was fairest AFI list.
Yes.
Which is a reference to the fact
all.
that Beth and I have both watched both AFI Top 100 lists.
This is a real.
Disgusting.
So you've watched, hold on, just to be clear, you've watched the exact same number of important movies as Beth has?
Yes, 123 best American movies through 2007, according to probably
Probably
a lot
like a
of old
dozen
men.
white men. Yeah.
They really need to update that list.
Seriously.
2007?
Come on.
Yeah.
Shame.
I'm
Well,
so sad.
Fast 8 came out. They got
I know, right?
They don't have any of the Fast and Furious movies
Yeah,
on
I would
there.
at least I would put 2 to 3 on
Phantom
there.
Menace
If there could be like
came out?
3
Come
Chaplin
on.
movies on there, there could
Three
be
what?
3 Charlie Chaplin movies.
Oh, they can
Oh,
they
yeah.
can put 3 Fast and Furious
Yeah.
movies on there. I mean, it's definitely got to be. I'm going to say right now, hey, AFI, if you're listening, F5, F6, F7.
Yeah, agree.
Boom.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Get Citizen Kane out of there. Who needs Citizen Kane?
We don't need that anymore. Casablanca can stay in the top 5.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But number 4 after the Fast
Yes.
and Furious
Yeah,
movies.
obviously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They race straight to the top.
Oh,
Hey, Dan, you gave this 4. I think it would be like
Or, you could make them like 25, 50, and 75.
ooh, I love
They
that.
go a quarter at a time.
Yep.
Ah,
I love that.
very good.
Oh, I hope AFI is listening.
Me too.
they probably are.
Hey,
Dan, you
AFI,
gave it-
we're talking to you. Dan, are you okay? Do you need?
Do you want to try to talk? Because you're not going to be able to.
just tried to introduce the closing segment. We've been recording for 4 hours now.
And I'm also at the well. And
Dan, you gave it 4 fairest AFI lists, thinking it would probably be pretty cool, but you'd maybe seen it once as a child, so who knows?
Yes. I think I would agree with myself from the past. It was still pretty cool. I was charmed AF by a lot of animal physical comedy. The dwarves did tickle me a few times, but I didn't remember them actually having personalities other than having just specific names about what they did. But they did have some personalities, and they were delightful. Prince is kind of a dud, but that's to be expected. All princes are duds. Hashtag.
Yep.
And yeah, I think I agree with that. For fairest lists of all.
Great.
For fairest AFI lists of all. Is that right? Oh, no.
Sure.
Good job.
Beth, you also gave it 4. Thinking it would have a lot of nostalgia for you. And a good whistle?
Yes.
Is that? Oh, okay. Great.
What?
What? Did I say a good whistle?
That's the best I
There
can
was
tell.
a lot of good
my
whistling
notes.
in there.
Good
I might have
whistle?
said that. I don't remember saying that, but
Oh, that might be a
It-
different note entirely.
Oh, my God. I take issue,
Yeah,
real
leave
quick, I
this
take
in.
issue with the fact that Snow White does not whistle while singing Whistle While We Work. She just hums.
She doesn't?
No, she just hums. The birds whistle.
oh,
She's instructing the
Bad.
animals.
I used to.
Oh, right, because she's their mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Meanwhile, they're just petitioning her frantically for help.
Please, we just need
habitat loss.
just need your legitimacy, your title.
Whistle while you work. She just holds up one.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Oh, the chestnut in this part of the world is our only food source, and they're cutting it down just to make axe handles.
The mining waste is being poured into the river.
I can't hear you. La 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 la. I enjoyed this movie. I think the animals are delightful, and I really do think the animation is beautiful. And I would say 4. It's not perfect, but it is good. Mm-hmm. 4 AFI mirror
Fairest
Responses.
AFI mirrors on the wall.
Mirrors.
AFI lists
mirror
of all.
responses.
AFI lists of all.
Magic mirror AFI. Good job at appearance.
Wow.
I also wagered 4 mirror AFI lists. I think it would be charming and nostalgic for me. Yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. But I'm going to go down to 3.5 because while it was entertaining and lovely, it also was a little boring.
I mean, once they stop washing themselves, what's the point, right?
Yeah, and for a movie that's only 83 minutes, it felt like a long 83 for those like extended cleansing sequences.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yep. Molly, 4.5. You thought it'd be good art with maybe some nostalgia, but then you were surprised by that nostalgia. So
I was surprised. I was really blown away by it. I loved all the animal scenes. In the end, for fairest AFI lists of all. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
I think we all got to the right place, like a doped up princess running through the woods.
yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, I was upset about the vilification of trees in this. And a lot of movies do this where they make the trees look like scary hands.
I mean,
aren't kinda
trees
scary.
can look scary in the dark, though,
Yeah, but they're not going to get you.
right? Well, of course they're
Trees
not
are
going
our
to
friends.
get you. Trees are our friends. Hey, trees, keep it up. Also, sorry for all this stuff.
You're doing a great job.
They're
trees.
probably petitioning us madly all the time. Excuse me?
That's what those
Excuse
trees
me,
were
princess,
doing.
princess.
Like they're just trying to get our attention, but like because they're trees, like they can't like shape themselves into pleasing human faces. So
Oh,
they're-
excuse me, ma'am.
The log
You're a
industry is cutting us
princess?
down.
yeah. Okay, shit,
She's like,
this isn't working.
I'm so high right now.
This isn't working. Okay, driftwood, you try.
Oh no, we actually look like crocodiles. We were trying to look like little
Dogs.
doves.
Doves. Horny doves.
Already done.
You idiots. You think that's what a dove looks like? I don't know, man. We float in the river. What do you want? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Do you think Dopey was doped up all the time?
They give like he's too dumb to talk. He's never tried is a wild way to phrase that.
I don't say they didn't say he's too
He just
dumb
never
to talk.
tried.
Don't they
They
say
just
he's
said
dumb?
he doesn't talk. He's never tried.
Or he doesn't know
They call
how.
him dopey, which is like, but like, I don't think he's dopey.
He's eccentric.
Yeah, he's
also
just
the
got a
one
goofy
without a
sense of
beard
humor.
or hair.
Yeah.
That's what's going on
he's
there.
yeah. I think he's like very childlike.
Maybe he's just a dwarf child, and they look like that for like 150 years.
Oh
and they grow
yeah,
a beard,
that could be it.
And
It's
then-
like
yeah.
he's like a dwarf equivalent of like a 4-month-old. Yeah, he just hasn't tried
Oh, he's
to
like the
talk
baby
yet.
Yoda.
Yeah.
He's a baby Yoda.
He's a baby Yoda.
Got it. That makes sense.
It does make sense, but he's also horny as a dove, sneaking through those windows
say
to
it
get
goes.
another kiss.
Oh yeah, you got like triple kiss. Which I mean, I guess don't trick women into kissing you.
Yeah, hey.
But
I
like,
mean,
she
she
knows what's
knew
going
though.
on.
Yeah, like she wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh, another dwarf. What's your
Oh,
name?
God, gotta kiss this dwarf. It's my job as mother to kiss all the dwarves on their way to work.
Oh, boy, that's how you get the fucking milk drinking, butter sandwich serving adult men is having that kind of relationship when you're younger. Good God.
Milk drinking.
Butter sandwich. I apologize
Sandwich.
to all the psychos out there.
Jeez.
Yep. Well, that's Totes Recall, the podcast.
We
Happy
did
February. Happy Valentine's Day.
Ooh,
We love
get
you.
yourself a horny dove and throw it at your sweetie. It's Valentine's Day.
If you head to totesrecall.com right now, you can print out a Dove Valentine from Totes Recall and sign it and send it to your loved one. Get yourself a horny dove
Yes,
for
Beth.
Valentine's
I
Day.
love
Hashtag
it.
Dove to flock.
Even though it's the day after Valentine's Day, they'll get
It
it.
doesn't matter.
get
Hashtag
it.
dove to flock. Hashtag dove. Wait, you already said it. Never mind.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.